Practice tips.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Devon with HDpiano.com, and in this video I want to focus on a concept that we don't really talk about enough, which is transposition. You know, everything we teach is in the original published key, which is great if you're trying to play along to the recording, but might make things difficult if, for example, you can't quite sing as high as Katy Perry or as high as Steve Perry, the lead singer of Journey. So let's look at Don't Stop Believin' as an example to begin. I'm going to play it in its original key, and then I'm going to show you some tricks for how we can transpose it to a lower key to make it more suitable for singers. And of course, you can take it to a higher key, whatever. But here you go. Here's a little taste. All right, so there it is in the original key of E major. Now I'm going to shift it down to C major, and here's what that sounds like. All right, so that is transposition. You know, this stuff's pretty easy for me as a professional pianist, but it's not that far out of reach. And I recommend that you always try to do it the real way rather than press that transpose button on your keyboard. Unfortunately, that transpose button does not exist on a real piano, so this is kind of the only way if you're really trying to be serious. And of course, you might think, well, why is it so easy on guitar? I just put a capo on there and slide it around and I'm good. Well, the nature of the piano, there's no such thing as a capo, first of all, and you've got these pesky black notes spaced every 2 and then every 3, which just means that no shape is really directly transposable, so you can't play the exact same thing in a different place and expect the same sound. So we have to accommodate to the key of each song. So the first thing you're ever going to want to do if you're trying to transpose a song is understand just the basic format of the harmony. What we know about the Don't Stop Believin', the Journey song, is we're in the key of E major. Now, any major key or minor key, the scale is only going to have 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're back and we repeat from 1 up to 7 again. Okay, so that's E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So get familiar with the scale to begin with for whatever song you're working on. Then see if you can figure out just roughly where you want to take the song. So if you wanted to take it to C, well, you would start in E and you'd say, just a small town girl, right? You'd be like, oh, that's high. Well, how about just a small town girl? Just a small. Okay, there it is. And you find C major. Okay, so at that point, you're going to want to say, okay, well, let me get familiar with C now. Play that major scale, all 7 notes, and once you're comfortable with C major and E major, you've kind of got both your worlds set up, and now it's time to take the data from E and transfer it over to C. So what I would do, all right, well, the main riff starts off with this kind of ostinato in the right hand, and we have an E in the left. So we know this is E major, right, our first chord. And if we think of it in terms of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have 1 in our left, 5, 1, and 5 in our right. Now those are not fingerings, those are scale degrees. The 5th, the root, aka the 1st, and the 5th. And we're going between the top 2 notes and the bottom note. All right, so let's try that in C. We have the 1st degree of the scale, the 5th degree, the 1st degree, and the 5th degree of the scale in the right hand. And we're going between the top 2 notes. Suddenly, there it is. We've already got the first bit of Don't Stop Believin'. All right, let's go back to E. Let's go a little deeper. Okay, so the bass line moved up, and the right hand changed from an E, the 1st degree, to an F sharp, the 2nd degree. The bass line played 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so let's see if we can translate that to C. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, and in my right hand, the 1st degree switched to the 2nd degree, right? C being the 1st degree, D being the 2nd degree. Let's go a little further, and then we'll move on to some other examples. All right, so what happened there? Well, the bass line continued up to C sharp, D sharp, and C sharp, also known as the 6th, the 7th, and the 6th. The right hand just went back to 5, 1, and 5. So if we translate that to C, here it is, 6, 7, 6, back to the 1 in the right hand. And now I'll just play out a little more. Right, just everything is drawn from the scale, etc. Okay, so there it is for Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Now luckily that song only uses 7 notes in the main riff, so it might get a little trickier if you encounter some other notes in other songs, but for now we're just going to keep it simple and work with diatonic songs, meaning songs that don't really depart from one key. Let's look at a popular melody. Let's look at Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I'm deciding to do it in B major. Why not? So we have a lot of sharps in this key. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Now, the melody, just looking at the right hand, goes from the 1 up an octave to another 1, and then 7, 5, 6, 7, 1, and then down the octave. Okay, let's pick a key. How about F major, a tritone away? You can't get any further. F major. Well, we know the melody starts on 1, jumps up an octave, and then 7, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now I can just maybe use my ears at this point. I think it goes back down the octave. Right? So I'm using my ears in combination with kind of an understanding of the scale. And these are all skills that you can develop, and they can be used to help you transpose a piece into a more appropriate key. So that's melodies. Now let's take a look at a popular song. This is If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys. Okay, we all know that riff, and either you're on the verge of vomiting or you're really excited. It's one of those songs where people love it or they hate it. I personally love it. Anyways, moving on. Sorry about the gnarly image there, but we are in the key of G major for this song. And what's happening here, and we're going to look at transposition more from a harmonic angle rather than a melodic angle. So we're in the key of G major, and we're starting on C major 7. Okay, so let's take the right hand down an octave, just so we can see it in more context. Basically what we have here is a C root position major 7 chord, but we've taken the bottom note of our right hand and moved it up an octave. So we get this kind of spread out voicing. C in the left, G, B, E in the right. What happens for the rest of the song is we just walk down the G major scale, and we get B minor 7, and we take every note down the G major scale again to A minor 7, and to G major 7. Okay, G major scale. Right, so the chords were C major 7 down to B minor 7 down to A minor 7 and G major 7. All right, let's say we want to take this song, we want to take it down, but not too far. We want to take it to, we already did F major. How about E major? So we're going to go down a minor third from G major to E major. Okay, so our E major scale, got our 7 degrees, and we know that it started on a 4 chord, right? So it started on C major 7 in G, which is the 4 of G. So that means it would start on the 4 of E, also known as A major 7. Now to find that voicing, right, we took a root position major 7 chord, and then we took the bottom note of the right hand and moved it up an octave. So we get A major 7. Now we're familiar with our E major scale, hoping that that's the case at least. So we can comfortably walk this chord down. Each note moves down a step in the scale. So our next chord is G sharp minor 7. And if we move it down again, we get F sharp minor 7. Move it down one more time, and we get 1 major 7, E major 7. So now we just take the right hand up an octave, and, well, we know that the arpeggio pattern is just top, middle, bottom. Okay, so there is a little glimpse into the transposition process. We're just taking what we know about a key, about a melody, about the harmony, and then we're thinking of it in a context that we can move around in terms of numbers. The 4 chord, the melody goes from the 4 to the 3 to the 6 to the 5. Whatever, you can write it out however you need to. And then, it might take some time. Obviously, I have a lot of practice at this kind of thing. But I think that it'll be a little more approachable than you might think. So I know a lot of you ask us like, oh, but can't you play it in another key? And I mean, that would just take so much effort on our part. I don't know if we could, honestly put out 12 videos of every song. But, and of course, like, you lose a lot of character when you move a song to a different place. I don't know, it sounds a little too dark and muddy for my tastes. But in certain applications, you need to transpose. So rather than make it easy for you guys, we just want to show you the concepts here so that you can take it to that next step if you're really trying to figure this out. And hopefully this is a helpful step in the direction of successfully transposing some of your favorite pieces. So I used 3 examples here, but if there's anything on your mind, definitely check it out in our catalog. Make note of the key, the harmony, learn the scale, pick the next key, learn the harmony, learn the basic harmonic, 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, etc. And of course, learn the scale, and then see what you can do to transpose it from one place to the next. That's all I have for you guys in this video, but I hope you dig it. We're going to try and release some more videos like this in the future, but in the meantime, keep practicing. My name is Devon with HDpiano.com. We'll see you guys soon.